In 1993, almost gets to a stage where you can say once upon a time. In 1993, I went to college in Richmond, which is in southwest London. Now, I was brought up as a Catholic. I didn't go to church every week, but going to the Catholic school, they used to take us to church once a week anyway. I used to see that as my wajib done. I used to see that as my obligation fulfilled in the week. Even though I lived literally, the church and the school was like a minute's walk from my home. I was engaged with Catholicism quite a lot. And I went to college, and I chose a college which, the norm for my secondary school was that they had a sixth form. Everybody went to that. I didn't want to go to that. I wanted to go to another college to experience something different, which is much further away from where I was living. Only three of us from our, four of us from our year went to this college in Richmond upon Thames. I knew absolutely nobody. I was in my class. I was doing a GNVQ Advanced in Health and Social Care. I was in the class, and obviously the first day everybody's getting to know one another, and I happened to be on a table where there was just nobody sitting next to me. So somebody walked in, and it was, at the time I was looking around, and there was no other chair free except that chair here. And I was looking at him, I was like, oh, he's going to sit next to me. And I could see that he was from a foreign country. Anyway, he sat next to me. And then the teacher said, if you just don't mind getting to know your partner next to you. And he said, I'm Muhammad, and I'm originally from Afghanistan. His English was, had an accent, and I was like, okay. Anyway, I told the class who he was, and he told the class who I was. And actually, he was a decent guy. He was all right. And because I didn't really know anybody in the college, and he was in my class, over the following weeks and whatnot, we kind of struck up kind of a friendship. And so we used to have lunch, of course, at around 12:30. And then the first half an hour, that he said, I'll meet you in half an hour, I'll come back. And then we used to have lunch for the half an hour. I said, you know what, that half an hour, we're kind of rushing our lunch. Is there any chance we can meet a little bit earlier? He said, it's a bit difficult for me, because I pray. I said, oh, what, every day? He said, well, actually, I'll pray 5 times a day. I said, what, you pray 5 times every day? He said, well, yeah. I couldn't believe that a person would pray 5 times a day, because in my mind, going to church once a week was something which was quite an effort. A person praying 5 times every day. He said, we've got a prayer room in the college, do you want to come? I said, oh, no problem. So I went to the prayer room, and when I went in there, they were some brothers, they were making wudu in the corner. There was a sink. And then one of them made the adhan, and then they all prayed together. I just sat at the back and watched them. But what fascinated me is that the way that they all prayed together. And after that, the Emir, or the one who was in charge of the Islamic Society in the college, his name was Ridwan. Brother Muhammad, he said, Ridwan is in charge. This is Wasim. He's in my class, and he just came with me. He introduced himself. He didn't say to me, do you want to become a Muslim? He didn't say to me anything about inviting me to Islam on that first time. He didn't say anything. He just said, welcome. This is who I am. You're welcome to come here anytime. And maybe I can meet you for a coffee or a tea one day. I said, yeah, okay, no problem. So then we'd done that for a few times. He didn't push anything, say anything to me. He's very smart. And then I myself had some questions. And then asked about the prayer. He said, we're Muslims, this is Islam. I said, okay. And then for about a year, this is a very short version, I'll cut it short now. For about a year, I studied Islam and Christianity. And I went to priests. I went to an evangelical church. One of my relatives was a born-again Christian. He took me to his church. He was a big American guy in a white suit, and he was talking. And at the end, he said that he had visions of me coming and visiting him and speaking to him. And I was so unconvinced by that. I was like, okay. So then I used to watch Ahmed Deedat videos. And then over a period of time, I'm the kind of person I don't like to make, especially big decisions, I can't make them straight away. I need time to feel comfortable with things. So then I met a brother who was Egyptian. That these brothers, they used to study with him in North London. And so we went to his house. Brother Ridwan, he took me to the brother's name. His name was Muhammad as well. And we went there for about 2 or 2.5 hours. And he just spoke about religion, purpose of life. And after that, I was just completely blown away. I came out of the home, out of the house, and it's almost, I didn't know where I was just struck by what he said. And I said, I just need time to think about what's happening here. I was 17 at the time. For about 2 months, 3 months, I never really had any contact with Ridwan. He called me a couple of times and said, you know what, I just need some time. I just need to absorb and do my own thinking and whatnot. And then after, in 1994, October, this year, 24 years ago, I said to him, you know what, I don't mind going to a mosque, going to a masjid. He said, I'll take you to Regent's Park Mosque. Regent's Park Masjid in central London. I'll take you there. I said, okay, I'd never been there before. I walked in there and I think it was the middle of the day, so there weren't that many people. Anyway, there wasn't many people in there. When I walked, it felt so calm. And I felt as though I was just in a place that I want to be in this place. And I said to him, you know what? He said, what? I said, I want to become a Muslim. So he said, okay, go and see the Imam. The Imam's office at that time was just on the entrance of Regent's Park. There was an office to the left. We sat in there and he said, this guy wants to become a Muslim. So then he asked me a few questions. I said, yeah, I believe this and I believe that. I accept this and I don't believe that. He said, okay, you just pronounce the Shahada after me. And I said the Shahada and that was it really. The rest that was in 1994. Hadda bikhtisar. That's usually a bit longer than I say it. And to be honest with you, I don't usually say it in English language. I don't like usually saying the story. But that's roughly what happened. Wallahu a'lam. No, jazakallah khairan.